This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Imagine the problem is not physical. Imagine the problem has never been physical, that it is not biodiversity, it is not the ozone layer, it is not the greenhouse effect, the whales, the old-growth forest, the loss of jobs, the crack in the ghetto, the abortions, the tongue in the mouth, the diseases stalking everywhere as love goes on unconcerned. Imagine the problem is not some syndrome of our society that can be solved by commissions or laws or a redistribution of what we call wealth. Imagine that it goes deeper, right to the core of what we call our civilization, and that no one outside of ourselves can affect real change, that our civilization, our governments are sick, and that we are mentally ill and spiritually dead, and that all our issues and crises are symptoms of this deeper sickness. Imagine the problem is not physical, and no amount of driving, no amount of road will deal with the problem. Imagine that the problem is not that we are powerless or that we are victims, but that we have lost the fire and belief and courage to act. We hear whispers of the future, but we slap our hands against our ears. We catch glimpses, but turn our faces swiftly aside. I am no better. My guts roil with fear. This is how the future comes to me, how I stumble down unmapped lanes and suddenly am in front of that cat house where she waits unloved, her face of indeterminate colors, the lips smiling and the eyes knowing far too much. I am always walking, sometimes in a forest with pink amapas bending over me, their petals carpeting the ground, sometimes in the desert with every shrub and tree and plant raking my skin with thorns. It is very quiet, soft purr of a breeze, brief bursts of bird song, whir of insects, and I hear this roar. She comes as a locomotive is flying across the ground, smoke belching, steel wheels screaming, no engineer in the cabin, and behind this engine is an endless strand of boxcars, no tramps looking out because the doors are closed, and there are no tracks, never a single length of track. This express goes its own way. It will all happen too fast for me to react, too fast for me to close my eyes, shut my ears, turn my body, and I will briefly face the future. I cannot remember it, and be honest, because this future is unlike the pasts that I pretend will be the future. This time the future is alive, and then it will be gone. Sometimes this happens in the night, and I see the glow of the lights as it vanishes into the land. This future is palpable, and no charts of economic growth or of population growth can possibly suggest its roots or cargo. There will be no first 100 days for this future. There will be no 5-year plans. There will be no program. Imagine the problem is that we cannot imagine a future where we possess less but are more. Imagine the problem is a future that terrifies us because we lose our machines but gain our feet and pounding hearts. Then what is to be done? I watch as 2 women struggle to make their feet fit a fine pair of stiletto heels. For one woman, the shoes are much too small. For the other, the shoes are much too big. They both insist the shoes fit perfectly. Imagine the problem is not physical. There is nothing to fear, but the bridle. It is silver, the stallion, black, the woman on the dancing horse. Ah, the best ass of all. Fly, fly, little dove, fly to all the ranchos. Go and sing the corrido of Don Jose Valencia.